Hello everybody, Travis here for Tpull's Corner, and we're doing Midweek Magic, and Wizards has introduced some new decks. Decks of the future! They just released the Alchemy Eldraine cards, gave us 3 packs to play around with, and kind of showed us what decks made with those Alchemy cards might look like. So there's a Dragon Tribal deck that I want to try out. And for some reason we're taking forever to find an opponent. But I did things correctly this time. I checked with NVIDIA to see if there was a driver update, and there was. So I downloaded that software, updated that. Then because the Alchemy Eldraine stuff came out today, the Magic Arena client had an update, so I waited for that. Restarted my computer. When that happens, you sort of have to reset a lot of your stuff. So I checked my microphone. It's set up in the right place. I had an issue once a few months back where, I think it's 3 months ago, maybe less, where it reset my microphone and it wasn't recording off of my Blue Snowball microphone. So I've learned to check that. And it always starts off recording things again in the wrong place, but I don't know if I have to reset that or if that'll fix itself. We'll find out. Anyway, this is a Dragon Tribal deck, and it looks like it might be good because they have Colligan Warmonger in there. And they had this is an Aftermath card. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 6 cards and reveal a dragon. They only had like 3 dragons in another Premade deck they did with it. They didn't even do the adventure there, did they? Just putting down a 1/3. I think we've got time. There's a 3 Little Pigs deck that's also perhaps worth looking at. I haven't faced this yet, so this is all brand new to me. So we will learn together. I think they choose the card backs. So here's my Dragon Tribal card sleeve. But they really didn't need to have this card in their other Premade with only 3 or 4 dragons in the entire deck. You were just almost guaranteed to whiff every time you attacked with this warrior. This one's a little bit different. There's a lot more dragons in here. I did look. Alright, so let's start with Godric. And we'll just go ahead and attack right now. You got your rabbit. Whenever you attack. So does that thing just get bigger and bigger every single time? Let's see, it's 4/4. Yeah, 5/5. Gross. Alright, so how do we stop that? We have haste, but it doesn't matter. We've got this impending creature that they are going to get down at some point. I'm not sure we'll have a way to take care of it. But if they don't mind throwing a couple of suicide attacks just to continue to pump this up, it doesn't have to be a successful attack. They could just attack with a 1/1, and that'll still pump up. And instead they don't attack. That's probably, I think that's a mistake, but whatever. Let's go over their heads. Let that come true. Let's see, we will make that red, that's fine. And this does 4 damage to any target, so we'll take out the Gale Fang right now. Go over their head again. And we've got 3 good defenders against all their 1/1s. They could have been sending in these creatures that can't block and just pumping this up to be 7/7, 8/8. Do they not have, or did they not get a 5th land? green, blue, and red. That's a wedge color, so that's Temur. Return target you control to its owner's hand, or return target creature you don't. Did they choose both? No, they didn't choose anybody in there, right? So let's get rid of the one with first strike. Let's get rid of the bunny. Never mind. I lose mine instead. Ouch. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's see. 7 for that one now. 4 damage to each. Do I want to do that? 4, 8. Actually, I can afford that now. They gave everything they had. This doesn't matter anymore, but we didn't whiff. Ta-da! Flying is an evasion tactic that can give you an advantage if your opponent's not set up to defend against flyers. So we did good. Ooh, that's like my 3rd copy of that. That's awesome. Okay, let me go in and take a look at this deck. Show it off for you. They've got 5 of the Premades. And let me just read this here. Latest set of Alchemy cards is here. We've arranged a few samples that will get you off and running. I don't know if they're going to sort of introduce these as Premades later to us or not. But just in case they remove them, if you see something you like, make sure to export it so that you have the deck list. We'll start over here at the bottom. We got Draconic Debut, Alchemy card, deals X damage to any target. The next dragon creature spell you cast costs X less to cast. So our most expensive one is 7. That has Convoke, so we can actually spend less than 7 to get it out. Let's see, we got 6, 6, and 6. So if we just cast, like, say you have 4 mana and you cast a Draconic Debut for 3, then you can bring your next dragon out for 3. That's a big cost modifier. So, lovely card. They gave you 4 copies in this Premade deck. The Shivan Devastators, of course, you can pay whatever mana you have available at the time, and they'll get the +1 counters on it to begin with. Daragaz's Whelp is one that with an Alchemy card with a kicker. Whenever you draw a dragon card, this perpetually gets +1/+1. If you kicked it, you seek a dragon card, and the Whelp and the dragon card both perpetually get +1/+1. Heir to Dragonfire gets +1 till end of turn for each red mana you spend, or for 3 you can reveal it from your hand, and it perpetually becomes a dragon, gets +3/+3, and gains flying. So, I guess, let's see. You spend 3... and if you had 5 total, you could just spend 2 more just to bring it down, and it would come down as a 5/5 dragon with flying. So you'd be spending 5 to get a 5/5 flyer that you are able to pump up still. Okay. Or, you know, if you only have 3, you could reveal it one hand if you don't have anything better to do, and then bring it down for 2 later. So it's an alternate way to cast something. And they sort of split it up, so it's not yet another expensive dragon that you need to have all the mana at once. Should be familiar with this one, Invasion of Tarkir. Reveal any number of dragon cards from your hand. It deals X +2 damage to any other target, where X is the number of cards revealed this way. This can be hit or miss because you do need to get your dragons out on the field. So by the time you draw this, you might only have like 1 dragon in your hand, or they might all be out on the field. But they gave you 1 copy of that. The Kolaghan Warmonger, this should be a lot better. It has haste, so you can attack as soon as you bring it in. So it's designed, they really want you to be aggressive with this. Whenever you attack, it looks at the top 6 cards of your library, and you get to pick a dragon out. So good to help refilling your hand. Godric the Cloaked Reveler from Eldraine, 3/3 with haste, so there's definitely a haste element to this deck. Celebration, as long as 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control, It becomes a dragon with base power and toughness 4/4, flying, and able to pump things up. Reavers of the Claw is devastatingly powerful card. Legendary Viashino Warlock 3/3 with Menace. I've made a deck with this in it before. It's really impressive. You add 2 mana in any combination of colors, spend it only to cast dragon creature spells, and once during each of your turns, you may cast a dragon creature spell from your graveyard. You can only do it once. If it dies again, you just exile it. We have Decadent Dragon from Eldraine. Expensive Taste for the instant. Exile top 2 cards of target's opponent library face down. You can look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, which is kind of good. It's fitting for the black color aspect of it, because usually when red exiles something, they only get it for like the end of their next turn, that kind of thing. So this one, that's the black's influence, I think, from the color pie to let them stay as long as it does. Anyway, 4/4 flying trample, and whenever it attacks, create a creature token when you get the actual dragon out next. Elder Dragon War. This is from Dominaria United. 2 damage to each creature and each opponent. You can discard and draw cards, and create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. A new enchantment saga for Alchemy, Victory of the Pyro Hammer. Deals 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker, and gains damage isn't removed from creatures during cleanup steps. Creatures only, not planeswalkers, but then Chapter 2 and 3 does damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Realm Scorcher Hellkite, flying and haste for 4/6. If you bargain it, you can also add 4 mana in any combination of colors. And since you could actually use that 4 mana to pump it up and deal 1 damage to any target twice. Tyrant of Carriages. 4/5 flying. When it enters the battlefield, deal 4 damage to any target. You can pump it up with fire. Flame breathing. 4/4 flying with haste. The volcanic dragon, you think you'd be able to have the fire breathing too, but it doesn't. That's kind of a jib. And finally, the Shivan Branch Burner, Convoke flying and haste, also doesn't have the flame breathing. It's interesting. Godric does. What else does? The Tyrant does. And Heir to Dragonfire does. And everything else that on the picture shows you spitting out fire, you can't, it doesn't have the ability to pump it up. Okay. That's like false advertising. I already like the deck. Good tribal elements. You've got a little bit of cost control in those other 4 spells. The one spell that we have 4 copies of to make things cheaper later. You can sort of map things out for how your curve is going to go. Is this 3 Little Pigs again? We're going to be going up against a lot of pigs and maybe some rabbits. So I guess we'll keep that in our hand for now. They've got something. Do they want to use it? Brave the Wilds. So they're just searching for a basic land. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this. We'll reveal. Let's see. There we go. We got the choice there. We'll reveal it. And now it's a 5/5 dragon. So it changes from a human warlock to a dragon. It actually removes the other creature type. We don't need to reveal it again, right? So we just bring it down. It still gives you that same option. I need 1 more land to use this on the second Little Pig. Or they could just transform it into a 4/4 right now. Food Coma. Oh, man. I don't think I have any way. This is red. We don't have any way to deal with enchantments, so our air is gone. And suddenly things just got that much harder on us. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in Godric. Got haste, so we can go ahead and attack. And if I want to do this, 7, so we can get it down to 4, and with Convoke I could tap Godric. They spent all their mana to convert the Restless Fortress, but it was tapped, so they miscalculated there. Ooh, this we can kick. Okay, we're going to do this instead. Yeah, I saw you messed up on the math there for your lands. Okay, we get the +1/+1 perpetually for the Whelp. We got another dragon. I just go swing in for a hit there. I don't even think I want to block with this one. Defending player loses 2 life and gain 2 life. I just got my first one of those. They got a little bit of ramp in here, so they're still getting land. They're way outpacing us on the land. Another second little pig. There are 4 copies of each of the pigs in here. Okay, I need land. Let's exile the top 2 from you. There we go. Let's gain a life. And pass the turn. They've got the right colors, so they can convert this now. They don't use that as a battle tactic. They just bring it down. Okay, what happened here? First little pig. Whenever you conjure one or more other cards, third little pig. The heck? Oh, here we go. Swine Rebellion. Conjure 2 cards and put one of them on the battlefield. So they spent 3 for that. That went a little too fast for me. Okay, so I'm still missing land. I didn't draw another dragon. I drew an Ogre Warrior. This deals 4 damage to each creature. We got 3 of the second little pigs, 1 first little pig, 1 third little pig. There's a boar beast and a boar. So pig related, right? It's close to a pig. I think I'm just going to need to use Victory of the Pyrohammer, because there's 7 of them. So 3, 4, 5. They take the hit. They don't block with anything. 4 damage to everybody. And if they got anything cheap for just 1, oh, another one. Okay, so if you control 2 or few boars with different names, you conjure 2 cards of your choice of the 3 pigs. And 1 of them gets to go on the battlefield. The third little pig here gets another 1/1. 1 damage to that. Okay, so let's do... What is that, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I do this for 5... Assuming they can't protect me. Bingo. Those both just became 2 each. That's beautiful when you have multiple dragons in your hand. It's strange we still whiffed. It's a dragon tribal deck. We had the dragon whelp out and we never drew another dragon to let it perpetually get up. They are not running out of the pigs, are they? Okay, I don't have a way to do... Oh, I do. I do have a way to do that. So if I do 2 damage with the chapter 1, I won't be able to get them both out. But I think it's worth it to get rid of 2 at once, right? Because, yeah. Okay, so then we bring this one out. Auto pay. We're willing to pay 1 land from the pain lands for that. They flooded out with land just now. They started off with a couple of ramp spells, which was fine, right? Things like Contagious Vorak, but... So they'll gain 2 life if they attack there. Put them up to 8. Can they do anything else? Let's throw away the land. Okay, we'll just bring you down. Bring you down. 2 triggers. We get a whelp. We get a Tyrant. GG. And I kind of wish they'd been able to do a little bit better. Just so we could explore more of the deck. There's a format I'd like to propose to extend the matches upon the agreement of both players. Okay, so I got all the rewards. I'm going to continue. I think I have time just for this one deck tonight. Every now and then I've got a lot of time and I do a round robin, just go through all 5 decks in a blizzard speed. But in this case, after downloading 2 different software updates and restarting the computer, I think we're going to be short on time. Captivating Crossroads. Now that'll be the first 3 turns anyway. I don't have a turn 2, so let's just get the black mana now. And then Colgan has haste and a chance to get another dragon, so we'll do that and maybe save this for kicking later. And let's see. Comes in tapped if you were the starting player. So they weren't the starting player, so they didn't have to put up with that. They came in and they were not tapped at all. Yeah, we can come in now. We'll go ahead and attack. This might mess up the land draw, though. But let's take the Decadent Dragon because we can cast this and maybe take one of our opponent's lands. They've got 3 colors. Or do they have more? Okay, another whelp. Let's use the card they know we have. We'll exile 2 cards in them because we didn't get a land. And we still didn't get a land. Shivan Devastator? That puts me full up at 7 cards. So I'm kind of filtering through my deck and getting stuff that's not land out of the deck. So allegedly, that is supposed to make my percentages slightly better to actually find a land. But maybe we do Decadent Dragon again. Sorry, I should say Expensive Taste again, just to try and get a land from the opponent. They don't attack this turn. They become a 3/3. Let's see, okay, there they go. Keep 2 creatures from among the top 10. Creatures in your hand perpetually get +1/+1. Not good. Okay, I missed land again. Let's see, do you have any land for me, opponent? Help me out. No land anywhere from anybody. Lovely. Alright, I guess we're just attacking again. I'm just gonna decline. Uh-oh. Do you have something here? Are you tired of taking hits? Okay, target player gets 2, so it becomes a 5/4. Ugh. And me without land. Well, what would a Knight on Arena be without me getting land starved while my opponent hits their land drops? I do have another Decadent Dragon. We can try it one more time. I do like the fact that these are all here later for whenever I need them. Okay, still no land. Third time. We have a land we can get down. Yeah, only a little too late. Yes, let's play a heavy 6/7 cost dragon deck and never give Travis any lands. I'm so dead. I didn't look at the deck. I didn't know they have Elusive Otter in there. Elusive Otter is tough. I don't have removal or anything, do I? Discard. Seek. Return target creature. It costs 1 more to cast. So if I do that... I don't have the right color? I need to have the right color to cast it? They don't allow you to do the color fixing like they do for every other spell with this adventure. You need to, so these spells just stay in exile because they're worthless to you. Is that by design? Did they do that on purpose? Is that an oversight? All I can do is put out... This is a 4/4 basically. I think that's really my only play left. No attacks, of course. There's nothing haste in there, but they could easily hit me for 3. And if they have an instant... These all come out as creatures now. Oh, and they have a Path of Twin Veil that they can cast. Okay. Almost every other spell that allows you to exile and play your opponent's cards has the rider on it that says you can pay any color. Or you can cast a spell as if they're any color. They don't have that there. I am not used to that. So if you're going to have a Rakdos Dragon tribal deck, and you're going to have Decadent Dragon in your hand, you've got a plan for other colors to really make full use out of that card? I'm not sure I like the deck as much now. So you're equipped with a tome. Are you hitting them across the face with the book when you come in and attack the opponent? Another one of the drafting of the spell books. Dunbarrow Revivalist. I'm not familiar with this one. Okay. Enters the battlefield. You get a one-time boon. When one or more creatures enter the battlefield under your control, create a wicked token attached to one of them. Then if it's bargain, return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. My dragon became 1 cheaper. which means I can kick it. Becomes a 3/2, and I seek a dragon. Unless we're counterspelling. Alright. And they do have black spells, so I might be able to cast something in here. They still got the boon from that? Okay, so they didn't need to bargain for that. It was return a creature if you bargained. So they get the boon no matter what. Kind of surprised they were willing to make that trade. Okay, next. They've got Flash. They also have Spell Stutter. Okay. I've got Dragon War. Five. It's a flyer, too. I think we reveal this puppy. Would have been nice to hit a land. Okay, so now they get to conjure a random card there. And you get to draw and discard. And pump up that fairy. And Elder Dragon War is not going to be useful. Not unless I want to just go get a straight dragon. They're throwing lands away already. And they pump their guy up there. Don't have the land to do that. They could just keep pumping that up, right? But we can pump this up too in case they put another counter on that. So I am willing to trade off there. But they only have 4, so... They get Brainstorm. Brainstorm's part of the spellbook. Yeah, we're in Alchemy. You take cards that are banned other places and they just throw them right in there. Preordained, Ponder, Opt, Consider, Serum Visions. There's Brainstorm. Yeah, kind of surprised. Brainstorm's kind of a little bit better than a lot of these other cards. Alright, they kept only the good stuff. What are you going to do? Ugh. Well, so far, we've been having a tough time with this deck, haven't we? Okay, so we skip straight to Chapter 3, because I keep not getting land. They managed to get another Brainstorm out of that one. Yeah, I think I like the Fairy deck better than the Dragon deck. My playtesting was a lot better than this, but this is like 2 matches in a row where I've just... They outstrip me on land and they can cast their spells. And we've already got an expensive deck to begin with. We need those other 4 spells so that we can get some cost reduction. And we got it in the one match, and you can see when you don't get it, suddenly you're in trouble. Which we wouldn't be in quite as much trouble if we did at least make our land drops. So, I mean, either those spells or the land drops, one or the other. But if Arena's not going to draw the cost reduction, and it's not going to give you lands, expensive dragon decks are doomed. And now it's too far gone for us to do... There's nothing else we can draw now that'll take out Talion. Alright, let's go in and do one more. It's fun when you get the good spells. It's not fun when you're not drawing any land. Which, if you're going to have Decadent Dragon in there, and you need other colors, you need to have some sort of artifact, some sort of mana dork that allows you to do any color mana, other than just the one land. Because you'd have to anticipate, mostly you're looking to do color fixing early on if you're playing the Captivating land. But with this deck, you would need to try and have an idea of what your opponent might have for green, blue, or white, and choose those as your other colors, just to be ready to use the adventure spell from Decadent Dragon. Well, at least we learned something. Up against the pigs again. Okay, so if we kill you now for... Okay, this works. See, as soon as we get Draconic Debut, suddenly everything is better. Draconic Debut makes all the pain go away. All of these now cost 4. And if we need to take something out next turn, like a 3/3, search for a basic land, up to 2 creatures get +2/+2 and trample. So, we have to tap out to do that. Threat removed. And we actually got a decent amount of land draw, plus the cost reduction spell. So that's basically your perfect draw. So I guess if you're willing to just sit through a couple of rounds real quick where you get land starved, then you can get your perfect draw next time and have some actual fun with the deck. I wish it was a little bit closer to the 50% win ratio rule being enforced rather than 33% with me. Okay, so they bargained that, right? To get the -5/-5, they gave up their Enchantment Saga because it became worthless. Let's go ahead and kick the Whelp. That uses most of our mana. We get a 3/2 in play. It just found another Whelp. Okay, it starts as a 3/2, so this will come down as a 4/3 when we kick it. Kick it! It takes 2 to make a thing go right. Creature gets them a land, keeps them on track. They got something else that they can cast, right? Hope it's not a deal damage spell. I already used Candy Grapple. No. So you get, whenever it attacks alone, you get a food token. We're not trading that. Okay, that doesn't count as a dragon. We whiffed. We're 3, so it's only that one. It's not the named Dragon's Whelp, and that dragon card perpetually get +1/+1. This is a Dragon's Whelp too, or Daria's Whelp, but it's already out. So when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, seek a dragon card. Okay, so the rules are it doesn't matter that this is the same card. If it's already out, it's already treated the spell as done. This has to be kicked in order to get the perpetual +1 each time. And I think we attack. And we still need one more land to make everything work. That's a Dragon Hydra. But that was seeked. We didn't draw that. That was the seek, so this doesn't get the +1. They have us half dead. Fine. Come on through. We didn't draw. Shoot. Alright. Let's get rid of... Let's get rid of your land. No attacks. We're on defense now. They might have one removal card, in which case we'll have to start trading off. I would like to get the wealth pumped up by drawing a dragon card eventually now. They gave us 6 lands. Why are you looking at my tyrant? That's why. Good timing on their part. Okay, I think we can't wait any longer. Our health is too low. Still not a dragon. And let's bring down Godric. I don't think we have to worry about haste, right? Defiant Thundermaw! So now, let's see, if we can get 2 non-land permanents, that's tough to do in a dragon deck, but... Damage to any target? Oh, this is just going to kill him. I was thinking for next turn, but this is just basically a one-turn kill now. See what happens when you actually get 6 lands for your 6-cost dragon deck? I don't count the 7th one. That dragon has Convoke, right? So we could always Convoke to get the 7th mana. I just need 6 lands to make the deck work. Alright, let's do one more. As with everything on Arena, as long as you're not getting land starved, we've got some fun cards. They're exciting to play. I still have a tough time getting into the Alchemy format, but the cards that they design are fun to play. I'll give them that. I don't mind going into Alchemy to play games. It's more a case of there's only so much time in the day, and I don't want there to be crosstalk between the two formats. I'd rather that there were just Alchemy cards. Like, I don't want Warmonger in with the Alchemy. I don't want Realm Scorcher Hellkite available in Alchemy. I want them to design only Alchemy cards for Alchemy. That's not enough. And we didn't get any black mana source yet. How long do I hang on if they mana starve me again this time? I'd basically be forced to, to do the Draconic Debut next turn if I don't get a land, just so I don't discard a spell. Okay, they've already got this Steady Tortoise, which can start to be pumping up whenever you attack. So maybe I should have killed the 1/1 just so that I could have kept that down. Okay, Quantum Quill. It's not that complicated. You got 2 lands. We got a land. It's not the right color land. If we do this for 2, that's not enough for reduction. So, we'll bring down Godric. No attacks. If they attack one more, this will become a 5/5. I want to keep the lid on that. If I can keep that manageable to when it finally enters, we'll be okay. I actually need 1 more land, and then since we already have Draconic Debut, we'll be good to start going. Okay, so here's a thought for the Decadent Dragon problem. If we can bargain this, we can get 4 mana in any combination of colors. So if we've got any spells in exile, we could, in combination with Realm Scorch or Hellkite, actually cast our opponent's cards that we have in exile that might be of the different colors other than red or black. So this deck configuration actually does have a way, if you can get those 2 cards together. You would just need this to pop up at some time later. Okay, so like for this, do we go ahead? No, I have to choose black. I need black too much. I didn't check to see if I have more than 1 of these in the deck. I think I've already seen other decks have at least 2. We'll go at the very end of this, we'll go in and check. Oh, they must have been mana starved themselves. Not satisfying, but I don't really like to win that way, just like I don't like to lose that way. It's a sad state on Arena because we don't really like that kind of enforcing of the win and loss kind of thing. Alright, let's go ahead and look at this one more time, mostly to check out that land situation. Okay, they did. They gave us 2 Captivating Crossroads. So I think that we need this for mana fixing, even though you only have Rivas of the Claw and 4 of the Whelps. And that's really all the black mana source that you need. And they gave you 4, 6, 10 sources already. But you saw there where we already had to use 1. So if you were looking at using... Where are you? Kogan, Godric, it's always... There we go, Decadent Dragon. So if you want to cast Expensive Taste, you can look at it and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, but you need the right color. Whenever Decadent Dragon attacks, create a treasure token. So this is why they created this rider. They expect you to get the dragon itself out and be able to attack. And then when you create the treasure tokens, then you have the other colors you need. That's why they didn't do it. They didn't make it easy for you, but they made it possible within the card itself. But with my problem is I wasn't getting land, and I kept trying to use the next Expensive Taste to go dig for land, and I never got the Decadent Dragon itself out to attack and create the token so that I could cast other color spells. So, okay, but they did make it so that its solution is kind of self-contained, and when we were looking for other sources, here is another place to get other colors as well. So you've got 1, 2, and possibly 3 sources where you can get other colors and dig into your opponent's deck. So there are options there. It's a little clunky, but doable. So, alright, I like the deck. I've decided. Let me know what you think. Do you guys like the deck? Remember to like and subscribe to this channel, and especially if you're brand new, make sure to subscribe and come back. And I don't know if we'll have time to get to any of these others to show them off, but if you want to see me play one, let me know in the comments. Thanks, everybody. That's all for this time. Have a good one.